Hey YouTubers, this is Tim at JL Miniatures. This is painting the Mangler Squig Part 5. We're going to just keep rolling along with this, and I'm going to work on some of the leather type stuff. Now a lot of this that I'm doing, you can't really see too much of a difference as far as the color change, but it is pretty dramatic on my end. Some of that stuff I'm just trying to get some more color to it. This right here I'm just painting as a tabletop type style. I'm not gonna worry about, if there's paint hitting something else, or it's just not leatherly looking enough, or whatever the case may be. This is one of those one pieces where I want it to be dramatic looking, from across the table, not really somebody picking it up and scrutinizing it, within 6 inches. That's not what this is about anyways. This is about just painting and playing and enjoying the hobby. That's one of the things I like to do. Is I do like to set and convert and paint and everything else, and I will be getting back into some conversions and some different type of painting when I get done with these guys. I just wanted to keep kind of plugging away at my son's army for him and have him enjoy it when it's all done, when we can all get back into the whole gaming community and actually do some face-to-face and play a couple games. I might even have to borrow his army and paint it, or not paint it, but play it, and see what I think about it. Now you can see I'm just kind of hitting the top edges right where that sun would be beating down on it. I am going to do a rusted effect on them, because being behind and drug behind a squig, you'd think that it's not going to be too shiny as far as that goes. So I will be distressing it and beating it up a bit. Now I'm going to take and go back through here and get some of that off-white and some tan. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to take and start getting some highlights to this rope, especially where it's all snatched and getting ready to break off. So, what's everybody else doing during this whole lockdown thing? Hopefully you guys are getting your painting on, getting your miniatures done. I know I have been really concentrating on getting a lot of things done that I wouldn't normally do, just because I have the time now to do it, and it kind of seems like a waste if you don't do it when you have the time. So, and right now it's kind of rainy out today, so maybe another day I'll do my outside stuff that I need done. You can see me kind of just edging this out a little bit. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just kind of making the bell stand out a little bit more, giving it a little bit more highlights. Now I'm going to work on that shackle again. I do want to get some highlights on there and really start popping it out. So you can see right there. And again, I'm going to take and hit that. And hit that ball with the spikes. I'm still using an off purple gray kind of look to it, just to give it a little bit more. I really want to make some of those pieces pop on it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll do that top spike right there in a dark gray and black. Then I'm going to work on the rust type stuff. As you can see, I'm just kind of grabbing the weapons as a handle right now. I'm not really worried about painting them up, but they will get their time. Mix up some gray. And then basically I'm just going to hit the sides of it. Just going to do a couple little highlights right there on that bottom edge where it's kind of rounded, just to kind of give it a little bit more. Like I said, that's not even pure white, that's just a nice gray. That's kind of what I'm going to stick with for a minute. And then I'll take and turn around and mix up our rust. I think I'm pretty much good on the black and the grays. Now for that dwarf head, I still like that purple, so I'm gonna use a watered down purple, and then this right here is a midnight blue, and I'm gonna mix those up. And I'm gonna use it kind of as a wash, just to give me a little bit more color and some interest to the piece. Just rinse out my brush a little bit. And then I'm going to take and just kind of wipe it a little bit. Get some of that purple back off of there. I figure whatever stays, that's going to be good enough. That definitely gives it a different look altogether. I'm going to do the same thing with the blue. I'll put that on the inside so it kind of casts from the squig itself. Water down my paintbrush, and then just pull that blue up where it needs to be. Now this still has a little bit of purple in it, so it'll give it a nice cool feeling. I like the way that looks. Alright, now for a rust color. Let's see if I can come up with something. Something kind of reddish brown, maybe a little bit of yellow in there. All right, let's see how that's going to look. I don't want something that looks too brown, because then it's just going to blend into the leathers and everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and just put it on, and then I'm going to take and use a wet brush and then just kind of brush most of it right back off. Whatever stays on there, that's going to be plenty enough for me. I won't really care one way or the other. I just want it to look good when it's done. And I don't like it to be looking like it's a brand new chain. I want it to look like it's been there for a while, and that squig's giving it hell trying to get it off or just make a lot of noise with it, one or the other. Now you can see the difference between that and the one that I haven't done anything with. And I'm just taking a wet paintbrush and I'm just kind of dabbing it on the paper towel, and I'm just kind of pulling it back off. Now you can kind of see that nice look right there, and I'll take and do the same to this other one. We'll see if we can keep this one in focus. Now I'm just painting this right on there. I'm not really worried about it. If it gets too much on one side or too much on the other, that really doesn't matter to me. Now you can see that. Let's see there. There you go. Now you can see that. You can see all that paint on there. Now I'm just going to take some of that paint right back off, and then whatever stays, and I'll be fine with that. Now I'm going to do that to the to this one down here. I'm going to do it to the belly chain here. Let's get some more mixed up. Now the yellow is just a craft paint. I just wanted to take and use whatever I had here, so that's what I grabbed. Same thing with this here. You just kind of just pull it down. You can see that there's a lot on there. And then you just take your paintbrush and dampen it down a bit. Pull out your paint, get it off all that. I like to really try to keep my rust away from the mini as best you can. You see how I'm just kind of running my paintbrush along the edge right there and working it into the cracks. And then I'll take and pull that along and get it right off of there. And you can see how it looks really kind of rusted compared to that side. I'm going to do the same to this side here. Just start at the top and just work my way straight through. Get to that bottom edge. Make sure everything's nice and covered. Rinse my paintbrush off, wipe it on my paper towel, and just go ahead and wipe that away. And there you have it. One thing that I'll probably end up doing is I'll come back through And right along this edge right here, I'll probably just take and just hit it with a gray again, just to kind of highlight it, just kind of make it pop a little bit more. That's just one thing that I might do. I'm going to wait and see how it all looks when I'm done with this first, and then we'll go from there. Now with this bottom chain and ball here, I'm just going to push the paint right down into the recesses. That's one thing with rust, it gets way down into everything, so I want to make sure that we're good to go. And then once it dries, it'll definitely look different also. So I'll take and show you right before I get started on the next segment of how it looks after it's all dried up and good to go. You can see sometimes the bells and all that are already pretty much dried up, so it does go pretty fast. If you want to take and keep working different spots at the same time, you can totally go ahead and do that and then make it really stand out. I'm going to take and do a couple little things here, and then I might end up doing a brown wash. The washes I use is Dee Dee's Magic Wash. There's like blue, purple, green, black, and brown, I think, are the main colors that they have. And I really like those. I've used them for a long time now, and they're fun. Definitely get your money's worth out of them. And it really, as you can tell, it really makes the transitions quite nice, especially when you're, who didn't see that? Especially when you're working with a miniature. You want to make sure that your transitions look really nice. You don't end up with those like watermarks and all that kind of stuff. Take and blot that, and then just make that kind of disappear. But yeah, you can see where it kind of pulled up a little bit right here, but it really doesn't really give you too many water spots as far as that goes, which I really enjoy, is not having the water spots. I'll tell you, chasing those things around and trying to get them right and making them look good and everything else, it can be a real pain and a hassle for you. So here I'm using a really light gray again. I'm going to take and try not to get it too watery because I want it to sit on top there. And pretty much that's going to be about how I'm going to finish this up. So there's a couple spots that I'll take and kind of just hit along the edge again, just to make them pop on the bell. And then I'll just kind of leave it and let it be and move on to the next part of it. So that kind of gives you an idea right there on the black and grays and the rust effect. I'm going to take and finish up working down here. I'll work on this other bell as it dries, and then probably going to start the mouth next. That'll probably be the teeth and the claws and all those little nasty sharp ends of the mini. You always take your fingers too. One thing is take your fingers, kind of wipe it if you need to. I do want to kind of give it a nicer edge on the top, so get a nice fire going. Alright, well, that's pretty much it with this guy. If I can keep held in my hands. And then I'm going to take and we're going to work on the teeth next. And then hopefully we'll be finishing it up. So again, this is Tim at JL Miniatures. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.